Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. I'm Kel.
And this is Misfit.
And we are here with our team grades for the season of Overwatch League, the first season, the inaugural season. We're going to go through every team from bottom to top and give them a grade for the season. This is the overall season grade. Yeah,
not just like the stage, the finals, the playoffs. This is start to finish. Top to bottom, all the teams in the league. And, we figured this would be the best way to go over the league because doing like a rehash of like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, you guys all know what's going on there.
Yeah.
We're just giving you what we thought these teams did and how they performed from top to bottom. We're going to go from bottom to top. Worst students to best students, kind of. We're going to mix some stuff up in there too. All right. Before we jump into the grades, let's talk about a little bit of news. We're gonna be doing content for you guys a couple times a week, and then if anything big breaks, we'll obviously come in and talk about that.
Right.
And this has been kind of ongoing. So we got 3 teams coming in. We kind of started to talk about it. We got Atlanta, Zhangzhou in China, and Paris. There's their first 3 teams on the expansion list. I think they're going to be decent. We had a thing with Atlanta.
It's
just an odd placement.
Yeah, I was not expecting, of all teams in North America, I was not expecting it to be Atlanta. That was one that was way down on the list of expected places. I mean, it kind of makes sense. You don't really have any Carolina teams. The closest you have is Florida. So, geographically, it makes sense.
Money is where it's at.
And yeah, that's really it.
If there's a guy in Des Moines that's got money, there's going to be a team.
You're going to have the Iowa, whatever, the Iowa Cornhuskers or whatever.
Iowa Cornholers. Maybe this is where Shanghai should move.
Right.
Anyway, well, they run backwards through a cornfield in every fucking match, so
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, I'm jumping into grades, but Paris expected. It makes total sense. Could be a rival for London once they move into, the geographical thing.
It shouldn't be surprising that there's another Chinese team. I mean, China there's like
gobs of money, lots of
2 billion people that live in the country alone.
Hopefully they can find 12 people that can play Overwatch, unlike the other team.
Yeah,
well, I'm just rolling on them.
It's fair because Shanghai literally didn't win a game. For fuck's sake,
it feels like sometimes they didn't win. They didn't win a fight or a map or it just. Ugh. Anyway,
it was just like watching quick play.
Yeah,
bronze quick play.
Yeah, it was like going into one of my quick play matches.
Right.
Oh, same. We're gonna do this. All right. I guess I'm just gonna start shooting people.
Or one of my competitive matches lately. Jesus.
What happened? Everything with the looking for a group was good. Now it's just kind of back to shit. Not shit, but
we got rolled by a 5 DPS 1 healer team. That is the life of gold. So
Yeah.
Welcome to that, guys.
All right. So I'm sure there's going to be some more teams coming in. I don't know how far they should go. I just hope they don't do it like USFL did and a couple of the sports leagues in America where, they had some success early and then it's like, let's expand like crazy.
Right.
And then destroy the league.
That's why I think 6 is the perfect number.
Yeah.
That will put them at that'll put them at 18 teams. They can do a 9-team playoff or 8-team playoff. I think would work out the best.
And we're gonna do some stuff on this later on in the week. We're gonna have another show where we're doing what we want to see, like our wish list for next year for the Overwatch League. So we're gonna dive into what we think the playoffs should be, formats and that kind of thing.
Right, for sure. But yeah, let's dive into these grades. So we're going off the final end of season rankings. So it's going to start with Shanghai. Shanghai gets an F- 0.0.
Much like Mr. Blutarsky.
Yeah.
Who has no grade point average. Look, what are you going to say about this team? They did absolutely nothing. They were poorly coached, poorly managed, top to bottom. They made some pickups. They were okay. Grigori, okay. Sato, okay. The only guy on the team that's worth a damn is Dia.
Yep.
Really?
The other guy that was worth a damn was Undead, and we all know how that worked out.
He's on Moripovich in China right now. what else are you going to say about that? I'd like to see them do something coming up, but I mean, they obviously can't do any worse than they did.
They better do something because they're going to have some strict competition coming out of China itself.
Jiangsu, or I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know. Did they?
Shangzhou,
I think something like that. We're horrible with Chinese or any of those languages. Cantonese, I can't speak that. So
yeah,
sorry about that, guys. Shanghai, right. They have an F-, 0.0.
Yeah,
total garbage. I mean,
you can't say anything else about them besides just total shit. And I agree on stream and as a person. Is she a great Overwatch player in this league? Not really. She's a decent tank.
She's not a carry.
No.
I think she is more than capable of being a perfectly good starter.
Yeah.
But she was not a good, I don't think it was a good fit for that team in general. I think she probably needs to be on a full Korean roster or just a team that has honestly, half their team, other than the three, everyone else probably shouldn't even be on a roster.
Yeah,
is the problem more than anything.
They might not, they might not even be on. They shouldn't even be on contenders rosters.
Right, and so that's a big. That's you can't really fault her or Dia.
If you could go lower than an F, they would be there.
Yeah.
If they were in the Premier League, they would be not in the Premier League next year. All right, let's move on to my team.
Yeah, Florida. We gave them a D-.
They had moments where they looked like they were bringing it around, and then just fell flat. Their pickups were okay. Saya player, he was great to watch. He had some moments. Was he what they needed? Probably not.
Because they really needed a healer.
Yeah. Their team cohesion at times was terrible. They had to rely on Logix to carry or, Tavik to carry or Saya player to carry. They didn't have any, real cohesion. It just was not the greatest outcome, and it's a D-. And moving forward, I think they need to look a lot at their roster, a lot at, they're great guys, but you got to look at it as far as how, you want to win and where you want to move to, and they might need to move on from some guys and get some other guys in here. And they started off with a terrible idea with the 6 guys and nobody else. We knew that was a bad idea to start.
That was definitely something I wanted to bring up with it, is the burnout was real for this team. And you could tell, and it happened quick. You could tell they were trying as hard as they could, and it was just a good group of dudes, but it was just down. Too much, and they couldn't bring in other people fast enough, and it was, by the time they did come in, it was too late. They had very suspect coaching because they only had one coach. They didn't really have a full-on coaching staff. They were just
they didn't have any analytics people.
Yeah, they were very underprepared for everything, from top to bottom, and they really did have some good talent. So it's a team. It was an underachieving team for what they had talent-wise. They probably should have been middle of the pack.
Yeah, they should have.
If they really, with the talent that they had.
Some direction here and there, they could have been. I don't think they knew what to expect, and they kind of went in with a minimalist attitude.
Yes.
And that was a bad idea.
Yeah, it definitely did not work out in their favor. Let's move on to Dallas.
Oh, boy.
Basically, to start off, this team was... These were the stoner kid who comes into class late if he shows up at all, doesn't do his homework, none of that. And then all of a sudden, someone comes in, whipped him upside the head, and he became a straight A student, aced his final, all this stuff.
All that stuff. But still squeaked out with a C-.
Yeah.
Because the beginning of the season was such a shit show.
Oh my god.
And, we went in, we thought they were going to win the championship. So, on paper, they looked good. And we were taking them from the sheer fact that they had all of these guys.
What they did in Apex.
Yeah.
Just what they looked like before.
Envious.
Yeah, when they were envious, we kind of basing it off of that. And a lot of people went in with those same expectations, and It looked terrible to start. It was really, really bad.
Yeah,
I mean, it was management was bad. The coaching was awful.
The player rotations bad.
You had toxic players in effect, and
XQC couldn't stay in the league.
Yeah,
which he's a streamer anyway. He's way better at that.
He's much better suited for that, and he can probably end up making a lot more money doing that.
Well, he's a great player. It's just he's more entertaining and more into doing that kind of thing and playing at that high level than doing this grind.
Yes,
it's not his thing. It's he'll be on the World Cup team, and that's more suited. It's a tournament. He doesn't have to be there every day of every minute,
right.
And that kind of thing, and do his. He can do his thing and do this on the side.
Yeah.
And the rest of it just was, in the beginning of the season, was terrible. The meta change and the guys that they had after Arrow came in, they got it together.
And they started using Seagull properly and understanding that, hey, he's a great player. Let's actually play him.
Yeah. So, Dallas with a C-.
Yeah. So let's move on to San Francisco.
Look, we're going to call this the incoming freshman class.
Yes.
They were terrible in the beginning of the year, but everyone kind of knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because they had all of this young talent that wasn't old enough to play yet.
Yeah.
So
they had Space couldn't play. Then you had
Sinatra.
Or no, Super, not Space. Space is on the Valiant.
That was again, we haven't done that in a while.
I know, right?
But Space came in, and then they brought in guys like Chokyobin, Moth.
Yeah.
And these younger guys came in middle to stage 3 to the middle of stage 3 somewhere in there, and they turned it around. But they were young. They just didn't have all of the pieces together, and they had all work together.
Yeah, they didn't. That was the biggest thing. Is once these young guys came in, they just didn't have time to really bring it together. But I think this is a team that is on the rise. We're giving them a C right now. And they definitely have the potential to become a very, very good team and make a really strong run next season.
Probably of the teams looking at the future for next year, they probably have the least amount of roster changes they need to do. Maybe some bench stuff.
Yeah, some bench stuff. Maybe another support. Maybe another tank, and that would be bench of those because they're set on DPS. They have some really strong support players and tank players, as it is. So, they really don't need to do all that much going into next season, and they're looking in pretty good shape. Yeah. Hiring Krusty was a huge pickup for them as well.
Yeah, that was, and with that young team, that was one of the smartest moves in the league.
For sure. So, San Francisco C, but expect them to bring that GPA up next season.
Yeah. I totally expect that. Their GPA should be on the rise. They're just, it's like your freshman year in college. You don't know what's going on.
You're like, oh God, there's so much going on.
Oh my God, I'm not at home.
I'm not at home. I don't.
Oh, look at all this beer.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, that was me. Wow, there's beer here and other things that I really like, but we're not talking about that. Anyway. All right, on to the next team. The Soul Dynasty.
Soul.
Hi, guys.
The former grade A student who...
We're going to call you into the guidance counselor office, and we need to have a little talk.
Yeah. What the hell happened?
Yeah.
Was it drugs?
Yeah. What are you kids doing these days?
I don't know. This team...
You have such potential.
Had such high potential, and they just flushed it down the toilet with poor coaching decisions, poor management in general, poor play from guys who
were great.
Who were great, yeah, absolutely. And then it's just, you kind of wonder, is some of it age? I think with some of them, definitely. Rouge Han kind of comes to mind when it comes to that. Did they make the right roster decisions when it came to who they were going to have as their tanks, who they were going to have as their other DPS other than Fleta? Then you had guys like Fleta who underperformed quite a bit.
And some of that was the result of other people not playing up to their potential / where they were, like their tank line.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be the best tank line in the league. That pretty much, to me, looked average at best most of the time.
If that, yeah.
And then flinging guys in and out. They started doing what London did for a bit there. You had just rotating everybody. You had Rouget Hong on main tank for a minute, which, worked for a little bit longer than Taimu. But, the one thing about him is he wants to win and he wanted to do anything to win. It's not like the other guys don't want to win, but he was like, put me on main tank then, if that's what, if we need something like that. I like the dude. His skills kind of were a little bit off, I think, later on in the year. This basically the season was a grind for these guys.
Yeah. And you could tell, and then I really feel like at this point, who knows what they're going to do going into this offseason. It's looking like they're probably going to try to pull together a Korean super team, but they have a lot of things to address, and it was not a great season. So they're getting a D- from us.
Yeah, D-. Mostly on their potential.
Yeah.
They should have at least been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not
consistently flushing their playoff chances down the toilet. In every single stage, they were right there.
Except for stage 4, where it just was a complete mess, in my opinion.
No, stage 4 is where it just completely went down the toilet. Because that's what knocked them out of. Because they were in the regular playoffs
the whole year,
the entire year until it got to stage 4. When it really came down to the pressure situations, they crumbled, and that's why they have such a low grade. Because when any kind of pressure was on them, they just fell apart, and they were worthless.
And guys, they were losing to teams. It wasn't like they were losing to New York and London all the time.
Right.
There things that were happening is they would beat Florida, Shanghai, and San Francisco, lose to the Valiant, lose to New York, lose to London, and then maybe squeak one out against a Boston or
Philly or like Houston.
Philly, but Philly even gave them fits.
Yeah.
But they should have been beating some of those teams.
Right.
It shouldn't have been beat the 3 bad teams and then pray for a fucking win against a mediocre team.
Yeah.
You're the tops. You were in this league coming in. You were the top 3. You didn't make the playoffs. D-.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. So don't forget to hit a like, hit a subscribe. Thanks for all of your support over the whole season. We're going to be doing a lot more content here in the off season. We got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to cover that. And then, like we said earlier, anything breaks, we're going to jump on that and we'll give you our thoughts on that. All you guys that are new here, also don't forget to hit a like, hit a subscribe, hit the alert bell so you know when we are posting stuff, and we will be on social media and all that kind of good stuff, talking about Overwatch League and Overwatch in general. All of you guys have a good day, and we will see you for part 2 a little bit later on in the week.
We'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.